The comment of the day today comes from Tom Loveday, apparently, and he is bringing up a very interesting question and a point. Uh, I've covered AI for a while now. It was a top story earlier this week or the week before, where AI is getting advanced enough where it is starting to replace women one way or another. I literally typed in the chat in the chat with one of the girls I matched the other day. The conversation was just so pathetic. I said, you know what, I'm done. I said I've had more exciting conversations with Chat GPT, and I wasn't full of shit. I literally have a more exciting conversations with Chat GPT. Chat GPT is just more empathetic nowadays than real women. All right, so let's get to it. Could this become a common scenario in 40 to 60 years when real AI robot wives become a reality? This is that is There just are not any guys available to this class of women. Same kind of lopsided ratio issue. So yes, this is a topic that will define the future of dating. And by the way, I have generated this image with AI. As a matter of fact, I had another image where I had me generated into this image, but it had some issues, but and I was too lazy to actually bring it up. But this was generated by AI, and this is going to be the choice between real women on your right, and humanoid robots. And by the way, the humanoid robots will not look like a robot. It will look like that woman on the other side. Um, Now, I don't think it's going to take 40 or 60 years. I do think that the first humanoid robots will be here with a lot of biotech advances. Most likely going to be here within about a decade. Of course, we don't know. Technology goes up and down in terms of how fast it gets developed. But what is starting now is the AI companions. And there are already a few apps. I featured those apps on this channel already, where you can create whatever you can create a virtual girlfriend, right? She can look however you want her to look, and there will be pictures of her. She can say, listen, I am making chicken with rice right now at my kitchen, and there will be a picture of your virtual girlfriend making chicken and rice in her picture, right? And you essentially end up having a virtual relationship with her. You can put a settings in, like, I want a girl who's very submissive. I want her to call me honey bunny, whatever the fuck you're into. And essentially, a lot of men are simply having, which is really not that much of a surprise, just better relationship with an AI robot by chatting than with a actual girl with demands and periods and all of that stuff, right? And it is amazing that human women are just no longer, especially Western women, are able to compete with a pile of chips nowadays. And guess what? This AI is not basing this virtual girlfriends on modern women. This AI, I guarantee you, every single virtual girlfriend's been created, and all of these apps are based on a traditional submissive woman, which there are less and less of, and that's why I live in Thailand now, and very happy with it. So yes, this is how it's already started. The next step is going to be porn, right? So what's going to happen? You're going to do exactly the same thing. You're going to create or import your girlfriend into a Pornhub, whatever, right? And that's where you'll be able to put yourself in there, and you will be able to create whatever porn with her you want. And of course, you can bring in third, fourth people if you're into that. You can get an extra whip, whatever you're into, right? You will generate whatever porn with this virtual girlfriend you want, and you will be watching your own uh, AI generated porn. Now, this is going to drive OnlyFans girls out of business instantly, which is always a great side effect, right? It's probably going to drive Pornhub out of business, but I'm sure Pornhub will actually, and I can see already the ads on there, shifting to AI. So that's going to be step number two. But of course, the step number three would be at first sex bots, right? Uh, and then of course just fully humanoid girlfriends. Now, is this going to happen? Absolutely. The question is, just like with any technology, right? We look at the technology like we looked at dating apps, right? Remember, we saw the dating apps. It was like, oh my God, I don't have to like approach women in person, which I'm really afraid to do, and I can just approach them online, which is not a big deal. Wow. And I can go and have access to thousands and thousands of girls like within like 5 mile radius, instead of going to a bar and maybe seeing the one or two that I like. And then again, she might have a boyfriend, she might be a smoker, and I find out that at the end of the night, so I wasted my night and the money, where here I can just filter him out. Wow. And that was wow, right? I found amazing women, and I've been in a couple of amazing relationships, and even more short-term relationships and sexual relationships, all based on how amazing the dating apps were, right? That technology was, at some point, I definitely thought that the dating apps were the best thing, that best thing that came out of the high-tech boom. But look, what made our dating lives amazing, and many people got married and so forth, essentially was turned against us, right? Dating apps now are the worst thing that happened to the modern dating. So I have a feeling that this is going to happen with the next technology, which is AI. At first, it will be, wow, this is great. But at some point, I think, and I'm hoping that at some point, women will realize, oh, holy shit, men don't need us at all. And obviously, if men don't need us at all, we can take advantage of them. We can get the attention and validation and sex and money out of them. Women will start changing, right? And women will start saying, oh, let me look up the behavior of these robots that was based on, oh, it was based on my grandmother, and this is what she used to be like. Okay. And then there will be tutorials and schools for women how to become submissive, good housewives, right? And that's when I think things will turn around. We will also find out that, being with a real girl is still different, and we want that, reality than robots. Oh, we won't, but I think we will, and then things will start turning around. And I think that's what's going to happen. But yes, I think the downfall of women is going to happen over the next few years, and definitely a decade, where all of this bullshit is going to stop. All of this bullshit is going to stop. Now, are the men who are simps and are raised are simps will end up raising the next generation of men who are simps, or those new generation of men will actually men up, and the virtual girlfriends will essentially show them what it's like to be a real man? I don't know. I don't know. So all of those factors are real, because maybe there will be a generation of men who would want to be beta male by design, and therefore, why use an AI girlfriend or robot girlfriend when you want to be used and abused? I don't know. That could be a turning point that nobody saw coming, right? So we don't know. Okay, so The Rock says, I thought that the comment of the day was about hate comments, but it looks like that you changed your stance. It is now the most intriguing comment of the day. Yeah, well, so yeah, you're right. I originally wanted a comment of the day because I get so much hate, right? So much hate. And I thought it would be interesting to break it down. But what I found out is, when I'm looking through those hateful comments, I mean, they're just hateful comments. There's not much to reply to, right? A lot of them are not very creative. I hope you die. You pathetic loser. You probably incel. You probably moved to Thailand because you're a pedo. All of that. The classics. I mean, there's nothing to reply to, right? I mean, like, what do you guys want me to do? Back and forth shit talking and poop, over the fence throw in here? That's not good. But what I did find out once I started really digging into the comments, that a lot of them are either, useful, in terms of, some of you made some really good comments, that I never even thought of, right? Or like this comment, where it's just a good question to talk more about on a topic that I think is going to be one of the hottest topics, ever. I just attended an AI conference here in Bangkok. So I'm telling you, and you probably don't even need me to tell you, is that, this is the next big thing in our lives, in every single part of our lives, is the AI, and dating and sex is not going to be any different. So that's what's happening. And yes, so I guess it is the most interesting comment of the day, but because it is just a comment of the day, I will still try to, if I see a toxic, shit talking comment that's creative, and gives me a sense of something that I can talk about, I will absolutely feature it. But ever since I started this almost 2 weeks ago, I just haven't found one. So if you want to ditch modern women and move abroad for more traditional relationships, go to themillionmanproject.com, take my most comprehensive course, and change your life.